Murder Sled!
Okay, so it's not really a murder sled. It's a 2-axis chainsaw mill. I put this together over the last few days using scrap lumber that my neighbor threw out from when they were tearing out their own deck. So I salvaged their pressure-treated lumber and ran it through some milling after removing all the metal bits, and this is what I ended up with, is this 2-axis chainsaw mill. I've put a few other scrap pieces of plywood that I had laying around on it, and a few other non-pressure treated pieces here and there, but for the most part, this whole thing should be pretty weather resistant. It uses some 3D printed pulleys and some 608 bearings that I had on hand for those. And I did purchase some coupling nuts, a couple of M8 nuts for the chainsaw mount, and I had some M8 bolts that I ground the heads off of, and then epoxied those in the coupling nuts, and that's how I got my extenders to mount my chainsaw. And then there's the 3/8 inch threaded rod, and it's 3/8 16 thread, so every 16 turns is 1 inch of travel, which makes it handy. If I want to get a 1 1/8 inch cut, I just need to turn 25 turns given the kerf of my ripping chain that I purchased. That's really about all I bought to be able to pull this thing off. Most of this stuff I had laying around on hand. The entire unit comes apart in pieces. The parts that hold the log are removable from the track. The track comes apart into 2 6-foot long pieces, so it's easy to store. And the carriage itself is really not that big, but I'm probably going to make it so that I can detach the arm or at least fold it up somehow and hinge it in the future to take up less space when I'm storing. It's very portable. I plan on taking this apart and moving it around my yard and using it in different locations as I drop trees.
Murder Sled!